This is going to be a little longer than a short one because it's a story. It's going to. You better have some Kleenexes next to you because you're going to cry at the end. Okay, it's about a pastor's son. The little boy put on his clothes because it was cold outside and rainy, and said, "Dad, I'm ready to go." And his dad goes, "Ready for what?" It gets time to go outside and distribute our flyers. Dad goes, "It's very cold outside and it's drizzling." And the boy says, "But Dad, people need to know about God even on rainy days." Dad says, "I'm not going out in this weather." The little boy goes, "Okay, can I go alone? Please, please, let me go alone." His father waited for a moment and said, "Okay, you can go. Here's the flyers, but be careful." He goes, "Thank you, Dad." And with this, the son went out into the rain. The 11-year-old walked all the streets of the small town they lived in, handing out the flyers to the people he saw. After 2 hours walking in the rain and cold, with his last flyer in his hand, he stopped at the corner and couldn't see anybody. The streets were deserted. Then he turned to the first house he saw, walked to the front door, rang the doorbell several times, and waited, but no one come out. He was going to turn. He turned to leave, but something stopped him. The child turned back to the door and began to ring the bell and pound hard on the door. He kept waiting, and finally the door opened, and a lady come out with a very sad look on her face and gently asked, "What can I do for you, son?" And with radiant eyes and a bright smile, the little boy said, "Lady, I'm sorry if I upset you, but I just want to tell you that God really loves you and that I came to give you my last flyer, which talks about God and His great love." She just said, "Thank you, son. God bless you." Well, the next Sunday morning, the pastor was in the pulpit, and when the service began, he says, "Does someone or anybody here have a testimony or something they want to share?" In the back row, an older lady stood up, and she started talking. A radiant and glorious look sprouted from her eyes. She goes, "Nobody in this church knows me. I've never been here before. Even last Sunday, I was not a Christian. My husband died a while ago, leaving me totally alone in this world. Last Sunday was a particular cold and rainy day, and it was also in my heart that on that day, I came to the end of my road, since I had no hope, and I just didn't want to live anymore. Then I took a chair and a rope, went up to the attic of my house, tied a noose and the other end of the rope to the rafters of the roof. Then I climbed on a chair, put the rope around my neck. I then stood on the chair, so alone and broken. I was about to throw myself off the chair when suddenly I heard that loud sound at the door being knocked on. So I thought, I'll wait for a minute and whoever it is will go. I waited and waited, but the door knocking was getting louder and louder every time. It got so loud that I couldn't ignore it anymore. So I wondered, who could it be? No one ever comes to my door or comes to visit me. I released the rope from my neck and went to the door while the bell was still ringing and the door was still being knocked on. When I opened the door, I couldn't believe what my eyes saw. In front of my door was the most radiant and angelic child I've ever seen. His smile, oh, I just can't describe it. The words that come out of his mouth made my heart, which has been dead so long ago, come back to life. When he said, with the voice of a cherub, Lady, I just want to tell you that God really loves you. When the little angel disappeared into the cold and the rain, I closed my door and read every word of the flyer. Then I went to the attic to remove the chair and the rope. I didn't need them anymore. As you see, now I am a happy daughter of the King. Since the direction of the boy when he left was to this church, I came personally to say thank you to that little angel of God who came just in time and, in fact, rescued my life from eternal hell and replaced it with an eternity in God's presence. Everyone in the church cried. Pastor come down from the pulpit, grabbed his son up, and just cried uncontrollably. Don't let this message die here. Pass it on to others. Remember, God's message can make a big difference in someone's life. Never be afraid to spread it. God bless.